All right, so get this. We're going deep on your financial future today.
Ooh, sounds intense.
It is. We got this interview with Raoul Powell sent in, and wow, the guy does not hold back.
Yeah, Raoul Pell. He's pretty well known in the finance world, right?
He is, and he's talking crypto, AI, huge economic shifts, the whole nine yards.
That's a lot to unpack,
It really is, but the thing is, he's not just like giving investment tips.
right?
He's laying out this whole vision of how the world's changing.
So it's bigger than just, should I buy this stock kind of thing.
Way bigger. He's basically saying, wake up, the old ways of building wealth, they might not work anymore.
I can see why people sent this in. That's pretty relevant to everyone.
Oh, absolutely. And he's got this phrase, unfuck your future, which, gotta admit, it grabs your attention.
Yeah, not exactly subtle.
Yep. But it makes you listen. He's saying things like traditional investing, real estate, that might not cut it anymore.
Especially real estate, he's got some pretty strong opinions on that.
He does. He thinks in this economy, owning a home, it's more about lifestyle than building wealth.
Interesting. So where does he think the opportunities are?
Two words, crypto and AI.
Of course, everyone's talking about those these days.
Right. But he goes deeper than just saying, buy Bitcoin.
Does he explain why those specifically?
Oh, yeah. He breaks down WHY these technologies could completely change how the financial world works.
That's what makes it interesting, right? It's not just the what, it's the why.
Exactly. And for us, for everyone listening, the question is, how do these big, complex things actually apply to you?
Right, like what can I do with this information?
Exactly. That's what we're going to dig into.
Sounds good. I'm ready.
So Powell starts off with this pretty stark look at the economy right now.
Okay, let's hear it.
Declining home ownership, wages that aren't keeping up, millennials struggling to get ahead, the whole picture.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's reality.
It is, and he argues that the traditional ways of building wealth, they might not be enough anymore in this environment.
Makes you think you got to find new strategies.
Right, and he's got this idea that I really like about becoming both a specialist and a generalist.
What does that mean both at the same time?
So be an expert in something, your specific field, whatever you're passionate about,
Okay, got it.
but also have a broad understanding of lots of other areas.
So like a T-shaped knowledge base, deep in one area, but broad across others.
Exactly. He calls it manifesting your destiny.
Manifest your destiny.
Yeah, like picture your ideal future, then work backward, figuring out the skills you need to get there.
I like that. It's actionable.
It is. And he has this great analogy about a window cleaner.
Window cleaner. Okay, I'm intrigued.
So the skills are the same, whether you're cleaning houses or skyscrapers,
True. The technique's the same.
but the earning potential, totally different.
I see. It's about the scale of what you apply those skills to.
Exactly. You got to think bigger, find the right game to play where your skills are valuable.
Makes sense. So he's all about adapting to this new world.
He is. And he's not afraid to call out the problems with the old system either.
What does he say about that?
He calls the traditional financial system a house of cards.
Whoa, strong words.
He thinks it's built on trust in institutions that haven't always earned it.
And that's where blockchain comes in.
Exactly. He contrasts that with blockchain technology, calls it a security truth machine.
Okay, blockchain, that's a whole other rabbit hole.
It is, but stick with me. He's saying blockchain cuts out the middlemen, creates digital scarcity.
Scarcity in the digital world where everything's copy-paste.
I know, right? But that's what blockchain does. It makes digital things unique, like a one-of-the-kind piece of art.
Interesting. So less reliance on those big institutions he's criticizing.
Exactly. More power to the individual.
I can see why this is resonating with people.
For sure. It's a big shift in how we think about money, value, control, the whole thing.
Well, we've definitely got our work cut out for us today.
We do, but I think it's going to be a fascinating conversation.
I'm ready to dive in
Oh.
to it. Welcome back. We've been talking about this idea of unfucking your future.
Right, and that kind of leads us to the big topic everyone's buzzing about, crypto.
It's everywhere these days. But honestly, I think a lot of people still aren't quite sure what it is.
Yeah, it can feel kind of mysterious. So let's break it down. What is crypto, really?
At its core, it's all about this technology called blockchain. Imagine a giant digital ledger.
A ledger, like an accounting book.
Yeah, but this one's public. Anyone can see it, and it tracks every single transaction that happens.
Okay, so every Bitcoin that gets sent, every Ethereum trade, it's all recorded there.
Exactly. And here's the key. This ledger isn't controlled by any one person or company, like a bank.
So who's in charge then?
Nobody and everybody. It's spread across a vast network of computers all working together
Working together to do what?
to verify and update the information on the blockchain to make sure it's accurate and secure.
So it's like a constantly self-checking system.
Exactly. That's what makes it so revolutionary.
Yeah.
No single point of failure, no one can manipulate it.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. But how does this actually work in practice? Still seems kind of complex.
It's all about decentralization. Think of it like a chain. Each link is a block of transactions.
Blockchain, now I get the name.
Every time someone sends Bitcoin or any crypto, that transaction gets added to a block.
And then that block gets linked to the previous one.
You got it. Creating this unbreakable chain of transactions, a permanent record.
But wait, how do we know those transactions are legit? Who's checking?
That's where the network comes in. Remember those thousands of computers? They all have a copy of the blockchain.
Wow, so everyone's got the same information.
And they're constantly using complex math to check each other's work, verifying transactions.
So it's like a global crowdsourced audit happening all the time.
Exactly. That's what makes it so secure. It's like this security truth machine, as Powell calls it.
Okay, I see why he's so into it. But how does this translate into something I can actually use?
That's where things get really exciting. Crypto, built on this blockchain tech, opens up new possibilities.
Like what?
Think about sending money overseas right now. Those fees, the delays, it's a pain.
Tell me about it.
But with crypto, those barriers start to disappear. You can send value anywhere, instantly, for fractions of a penny.
So it's like the internet, but for money.
Exactly. It's global, accessible, and it empowers individuals. That's what Powell means by the great equalizer.
It's giving people more control over their own finances.
Right. You're not relying on banks or governments to handle your money.
I can see why this is appealing, especially with all the economic uncertainty we've been talking about.
Exactly. It's an alternative system, one that a lot of people believe is more fair and transparent.
Okay, so I'm convinced blockchain is a big deal. But crypto itself, there's so many different coins, it's confusing.
It can be overwhelming. Where do you even start?
That's what I want to know.
Well, Powell recommends sticking to the well-established ones, like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Those are like the big names everyone's heard of.
They've got a proven track record, a large and active community. They're a bit more stable.
Stable in the crypto world. That's a relative term, right?
It is. Crypto is inherently volatile. But starting with the bigger players can mitigate some of the risk.
So where do you actually buy this stuff?
Powell mentions platforms like Coinbase and Kraken. They're essentially exchanges, like stockbrokers, for crypto.
So you create an account, and then you can buy, sell, trade different coins.
Exactly. They're a good place to start if you're just dipping your toes in.
Makes sense. But he also said something about owning and controlling your own crypto.
Ah, yes, this is important. He's a big advocate for using a ledger device.
A ledger device, what's that?
It's a hardware wallet. Think of it like a high-tech safe specifically for your crypto.
So it's like a physical thing you keep your crypto on.
Exactly. It stores your private keys, which are like the passwords to access your crypto.
Okay, so it's an extra layer of security.
Absolutely. Especially important with all the hacking and scams that happen online.
Yeah, that makes sense. So step one, research, pick an exchange, maybe start with Bitcoin or Ethereum.
That's a reasonable approach.
Yeah.
But Powell stresses this idea of gradual learning. Don't go all in right away.
Take it slow. Do your due diligence.
Exactly. Crypto is evolving fast. It's about staying informed and being cautious.
He actually made this interesting point about traditional currencies being debased.
Ah, yes. He's talking about inflation, how the value of our money is constantly being eroded.
Because governments print more money.
Exactly. And that's why he sees Bitcoin as a potential hedge.
Because it's limited. Only 21 million Bitcoins will ever exist.
Right? It's like digital gold, a scarce asset that can't be manipulated as easily.
So it's a way to protect your wealth from inflation.
That's the idea, though it's important to remember crypto is still volatile. It's not a guaranteed safe haven.
Right. It's all about managing risk, which brings us back to Powell's don't fuck it up philosophy.
He's got a whole set of principles for navigating the crypto world, and that's a key one.
So tell me more about these don't fuck it up rules.
Well, first and foremost, he's talking about avoiding common mistakes that can wipe out your gains.
Like what?
Chasing meme coins, those hyped up tokens that promise quick riches, that's a big no-no.
So it's about staying rational, not getting swept up in the hype.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He also warns against using leverage, which is basically borrowing money to amplify your bets.
That sounds risky, especially in a market as volatile as crypto.
It is, and he strongly advises against it, especially for beginners. The potential losses can be huge.
Okay, so no meme coins, no leverage. What else?
Diversification is key.
Mm.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your investments across different assets.
So, like with stocks, don't bet everything on one company.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Same principle applies here. Spread the risk, potentially increase your chances of success.
makes sense. And what about the time horizon? How long should you hold on to these investments?
Pal's the big believer in the long game. He sees crypto as a transformative technology that's still early.
So we're talking years, not months.
Exactly. He's predicting the market will continue to grow exponentially. But it's a long-term vision.
He actually said something about the crypto market being cyclical, like having booms and busts.
He did. He says to be prepared for those ups and downs, not to panic sell when things get rough.
So it's like riding a roller coaster.
Kind of, you got to have the stomach for it. And if you believe in the long-term potential, those dips could be opportunities.
Opportunities to buy more at a lower price.
Exactly.
Right.
But again, only if you're comfortable with the risk,
Right. It's all about understanding your own risk tolerance and making informed decisions.
which is really the heart of Pal's message.
Mhm.
He wants to empower people to take control of their financial future.
He's saying don't just blindly follow the hype, educate yourself, make your own choices.
Exactly. Crypto is complex, but it's worth taking the time to understand. It could change everything.
All right, so we've talked crypto, blockchain, all that. But there's another huge piece of the puzzle here.
The other big one, yeah, artificial intelligence.
AI, exactly. And honestly, this one's kind of scary, even more than crypto, you know?
I get it. It's like sci-fi movie stuff coming to life.
Exactly. And Pal doesn't downplay it at all.
What does he compare it to?
Splitting the atom, he says AI is that big of a deal.
Wow. The single greatest innovation in human history, he said, right?
Right. And he paints this picture. It's wild.
Laid on me.
Imagine walking around your city, any city,
Okay, I'm picturing it.
and try to spot all the jobs that robots could do, even right now.
Ooh, that's a good thought experiment.
It is. Truck drivers, factory workers, you name it.
Even things we think of as skilled work, right?
Yeah. Coders, designers, AI's getting good at that stuff too.
It's happening faster than we realize, I think.
Pal thinks so too. But his point isn't to freak us out, is it?
No, it's more like a wake-up call, I'd say.
A wake-up call to do what, though?
Adapt. He's saying the job market's changing, we got to change with it.
So how do we do that? What skills are we even supposed to be learning?
He talks a lot about authentic human experiences.
What does that even mean in a world of robots and algorithms?
It's about what AI can't replicate.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Things like deep human connection, creativity, complex problem solving, empathy.
So the stuff that makes us human, basically.
Yeah. AI is great at logic, but it can't truly understand emotions or art or the nuances of human interaction.
I see what he's getting at.
Focus on what makes us unique.
And he had this other point that I found interesting.
What's that?
He's big on digital communities.
Wait, how does that fit with authentic human experiences? Those sound kind of opposites.
It might seem that way, but here's his thinking.
While listening.
As work changes, as AI disrupts things, people need to connect more than ever.
Support networks, finding people with similar interests, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Online communities become even more important in that world.
So even though AI is all tech-focused, the human element is still key.
Absolutely. It's just that the ways we connect, they might evolve too.
Makes sense. So big picture, what's Pal's overall message about AI?
It's not all doom and gloom, actually.
Is it hopeful?
I think so. He's saying, yeah, change is scary, but it's also an opportunity.
To what? Reinvent ourselves.
Exactly. Learn new skills, find new ways to create value, build those connections. It's like, don't just be afraid of the robots. Figure out how to work with them or alongside them.
Right. He's all about being proactive, not passive, in the face of this huge shift.
Okay, I'm feeling slightly less terrified now.
Good. Because really that's what this whole deep dive is about, right?
It is. Crypto, AI, all of it. It's about taking control of your future.
Not just letting the future happen to you, but shaping it yourself.
And that's pretty empowering when you think about it.
It is. It's about staying informed, making smart choices, and building the future you want.
Well said. So for everyone listening, I hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought.
Lots to chew on, for sure. It's a complex landscape out there, but knowledge is power.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and keep those questions coming.